You are now listening to the Pelicans post-game report. Flash report.
All things Pelicans, now tuning into the Pelican post-game report. I'm Big Q on this flash report. Big ups to the fan. Appreciate y'all tuning in on this PPR flash report. A bit of a news here. Shams was on Pat McAfee Show talking about Herb Jones. And just in case you guys didn't hear, take a listen.
But hear this, Pat. I'm told Herb Jones is essentially going to serve as the starting center for the Pelicans. I think everyone right now, you look at TJ McCollum, DeJounte Murray, Brandon Ingram, Herb Jones, and Zion Williamson. A lot of people are like, oh, Zion Williamson's playing the 5. And Willie Green came out the other day and said he's not the 5. He's we're not talking about 5s. We're talking about positionless. And I do think there's some credence to that. But hear this, Pat. I'm told Herb Jones is essentially going to serve as the starting center for the Pelicans. I think everyone right now, you look at TJ McCollum, DeJounte Murray, Brandon Ingram, Herb Jones, and Zion Williamson. A lot of people are like, oh, Zion Williamson's playing the 5. And
all right, so that's a bit of a news for some of the family members that might not have heard what Shams was talking about, that Herb Jones. Now, this was bantered about. This was something that credit and shout out to DC who made mention of this. He talked about this on the show before, so PPR ahead of the curve. But Shams is talking about this. Herb Jones at the 5 in certain lineups, a starting center. A lot of people are not enthused about Herb Jones as a starting center. We did know that we knew, and listen, I think people might be getting this thing kind of blown away, kind of running on with this thing about Zion Williamson starting at the 5, and then Willie Green did make mention. He kind of floating on the issue, you know what I'm saying? With people pressing on him, he kind of, they press him on the topic. He kind of floats and say, well, even though you mentioned the small ball rotation, then he talked about Golden State and Draymond Green and how they use Draymond Green and all this type of stuff. And I think the big pushback about Zion, the center, is the fact that a lot of the faithful understand that there is a fragility issue. Now, he did play 70 games last year, but do we want to see our 6'7" power forward, power guard, whatever you want to call him, as a center on some rotation? So this is a very interesting situation, but we'll cover that later. Herb Jones at center. As you know, Herb is 6'7", about 212, 215 along up in there. In certain lineups, we know Herb is tough, he's strong, but talking about starting center, there were also reports saying that Daniel Tice would get 15 to 20 minutes a night in his small ball look. So we're just going to have to see how all is working out. What the Pelicans are basically attempting to do, family, in my opinion, is they're trying to just get the best 5 guys on the floor. That's pretty much what they're attempting to do. Now, hopefully, we're going to give them a little bit more credit and say, when you start seeing actual centers, 7-foot guys out there, that you don't put Herb up against them, that you kind of use your 7-footers to the best of your ability to kind of match up from night to night. We talked about this many years ago. We called it a living roster, where the Pelicans would be able to adapt their lineup versus the opponent, right? So I think in principle, that's some of the concepts, not saying whether it's positive or negative, but this is a very interesting thing. If Shams is correct on that, about her playing the center position, very interesting, man. It's some of the news there. So the Zion Williamson, I get if you having Zion at center some nights, they're trying to do the Draymond thing. I get that. But Herb Jones some night at the center position, I don't know. But idealistically, the Pelicans trying to get 5 of their best guys on the floor. They're trying to fit them in the best way they can. It's kind of weird. And all I can say, man, I don't know. We'll just have to see how this works, man, just to see what's going on, because it's a very unique thought, to be honest with you, where Herb playing center, if this guy is correct, and is his information about them talking about playing Herb at 5. What do you guys think about that? Y'all put it in the comment section. Let me know how you feel about Herb Jones, the starting center, according to Shams Charania, if I'm pronouncing the guy's name correct. What do you guys think about this? Please put it in the comment section below and let me know how you feel. Please also hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. By all means, feel free to share the show on your social media feed. Big Q Peace and y'all out. Much love. Go Pels.
Subscribe now and stay up to date for all things New Orleans Pelicans.